What has been your fave collab if I would ever do content creating full time? Do you have a lot of travels happening this year? What are some goals you have for YouTube? What is your happy place? How is married life? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to do a little chit chat, get ready with me. I realized I haven't really done a sit down video in a while. Actually, I don't think I've done one since my last Q&A that I did with Jay for our wedding, which was months ago, so I figured why not do one today. I'm actually getting ready to go nowhere because it's absolutely freezing here today in New York City. It's about 12 degrees. We're having like a winter, I don't know what it is, but winter's finally coming around and it's super cold, so I'm essentially just getting ready to stay in the house. I do have a bit of content to film later today, so I guess, you know, it works out with me getting ready now. I put up a little poll on my Instagram as well as on TikTok. You guys left a few questions, so I figured I would answer them while I start getting ready. I'll also leave all products linked down below. This is just gonna be like my usual everyday makeup routine. I usually always start with brows. I don't know why I've always been like this, but brows are definitely, I feel like brows just really frame your face, so I usually like to go in with that first and then kind of see what I want to do with everything else. I've been seeing a lot of people do this thing where they shave off the rest of their eyebrow and it's supposed to lift their face, and it looks great on all of them, but I don't know how it would look on me, so I think I'm just gonna stick to the brows I currently have. While I'm doing my brows, I figured I would get into the first question, which is, what has been your fave collab so far? So that's a pretty hard question to answer because I feel like every brand I've ever worked with, every collaboration I've ever had has always been like a pinch me moment. Like, I still can't believe that just the fact that anyone likes my videos, watches it, comments, or any brands have ever reached out to me is just crazy in my mind. So yeah, that's a pretty hard question to answer. But I will say, in terms of brands that have reached out to me when I've really been like, whoa, I would say the first was probably Revolve, just because when Revolve reached out to me, I had just decided that at the end of 2021 that I really wanted to put a lot of time and effort into more fashion related content, especially on Instagram. At that point, I wasn't really posting much on Instagram at all, definitely not really anything aesthetic or like fashion related content. So the fact that after my first few posts they had already reached out and sent tons of clothes over to me was just crazy. That was definitely like a pretty big pinch me moment. I would also say when I was invited to my first brand events, like those were always so much fun, and just the fact that a brand actually wanted me to be there at their event, it's just crazy to me. In terms of other brands, I would say recently I've gotten a lot of PR from more luxury brands such as Prada, Ralph Lauren sent stuff over. I still can't even wrap my head around that. And then also a brand that I have loved my entire life, like back in the day when I used to have a beauty YouTube channel, which I think I've mentioned to you guys before. I was like freshman in college, I think, and I ended up deleting it because I was just embarrassed, and now I regret it every single day because within weeks I had thousands of subscribers and now it's so hard to grow here. But a brand that I always talked about, whether it was on my YouTube channel or to my friends, was Gisou. And Gisou recently has sent me a lot of products. I've worked together with them a lot on TikTok and Reels. That has just been like incredible for me and just very much a full circle moment, because I remember telling just like my friends at NYU, like my roommates, anyone in my class, like, you really have to try this Gisou hair oil, it's amazing, like basically repping the brand as if I worked for them back then. And the fact that now they have seen my videos and know who I am is just, it's wild. But all in all, I'll always be grateful for anyone who supports me, watches my videos, any brands who reaches out. It's truly a dream come true, and hopefully it just keeps going. Another question that I got a lot is if I would ever do content creating full time, if I would prefer to keep my 9-to-5 or like have this be my full-time job. And the question is, I really don't know, just because I'm nowhere near that stage. For me to stop my full-time job and do content creating full-time, I would have to be making either the same or more than I'm currently making in my 9-to-5. And hopefully, you know, one day that happens, and you know, I'm still obviously working towards that, but I just wouldn't feel comfortable ever quitting my full-time job and doing this full-time. Actually, I would have to make more, because not only do you get a salary, like a stable salary with your, you know, 9-to-5 job, but you also have your benefits, 401k. There's just so many different things that go into it. So I don't know, I would have to feel very secure with my content creating, and I would also have to have financial, you know, stability, security with the amount of brand deals I had, the speed I was growing at. I don't know, there's just a lot that goes behind it. Like, there's tons of creators I follow on TikTok that are huge, like hundreds of thousands of followers, and they also have their 9-to-5 jobs pretty much for the same reason. Also, another big thing is if you have stock within your company, that's a lot to give up. Like, I don't know, I just feel like my idea is to keep doing this as long as I can with my 9-to-5 job, as long as both are, you know, of course I always put my 9-to-5 first because that's where I get paid the most. Just making sure that I can, you know, prioritize both, everything's well balanced. If it ever got to a point where, like I said, I was making more with content creating, like significantly more, where my 9-to-5 plus 401k, all of that didn't really, not that it didn't matter, because obviously more money is always great, but if my content creating is doing that amazing, I want to keep putting more time and effort into it, and it does take a lot of time to do my 9-to-5, which sometimes is even later, and then after that be like, okay, what content am I filming? What do I have to film? What brands am I working with? Or, okay, what am I doing on the weekend? I have to still squeeze in like a few hours to do this or that. So it's definitely a lot, but so far I'm loving it, and I don't think I would really change things unless, like I said, I was killing it with content creating and making that bread. Another question I got is, do you have a lot of travels happening this year? So hopefully we will. We have a lot of, we kind of do this thing where in the beginning of the year we plan out every trip we would love to go on, and then kind of go off of what is the most feasible, what can we actually make happen. So as of right now, our first trip we went on was to Florida to visit my grandparents. We also went to Miami for a bit, so that was our, you know, way to kick off the new year in January. Then we have our honeymoon coming up very, very, very soon. Like, I need to start getting outfits together. We need to finish booking everything. That's why I keep talking about it in all my vlogs, because I'm like, we just booked it a few weeks ago and we're gonna be there in a few weeks. So very crazy, and the place we're going is both of our dream destination. We both have never been there before. Very long flight, so we're just trying to prepare ourselves for it, but we are just so excited to finally visit this country and just see the beauty in all of it. Okay, the sun just got really crazy right now. This is just the time of day where close to the sun setting and the light is just beaming into our apartment, so I'm sorry that the lighting's a little messed up. I'm also annoyed because I had ideas of filming a little baking thing and the lighting was just not hitting, and of course it is now that I'm filming this, but it's fine. Back to what I was saying about the trips. We have like a bunch that we would love to go on. Okay, this light is, it's a little too much for me. Okay, we're just gonna have to work with the lighting like this for a bit because the sun, like I said, is about to set. But back to what I was saying about the travels. We would love to go back to Europe later in the year. We really just love going to Europe and love going especially in the fall. So hopefully we'll be able to do that as well. And I don't know, we really had this idea, this goal that we would travel every 3 months, whether it was to, you know, my parents' lake house or just really anywhere. And I feel like we've kind of been doing that the past few months. We went to London and Amsterdam in November. Then we went to, like I said, Florida in January. In just a few weeks, we're going on our honeymoon. So hopefully we could keep it up, but I don't know. We'll see. As you guys can tell, we really do love to travel, so who knows what we have in store. We're definitely not those people that plan out our trips way in advance. Like I said, we just booked our honeymoon a few weeks ago and we're leaving in a few weeks. Same thing when we went to Greece. We booked that only a week in advance. Yeah, we're definitely not those people that book things at all far in advance, which I know it's better in terms of, you know, you definitely save money, but the way that our schedules are, it's just a little easier for us to kind of wait closer to the time we want to go. Okay, I just rambled about that. Let's see, what is the next question? What are you excited for the most this year? Definitely your honeymoon. Like, I've been talking about a million one times, but we're just super excited. It's been a dream destination for us, and yeah, we just are really excited to get out of here. The next question is, what is your dream brand you'd like to work with? I feel like that's really hard because there's just so many brands out there that I would just love to work with. I would say maybe I'll go in terms of categories. So when it comes to beauty, skincare, makeup, all of that, working with Dior would just be a dream. I would love to work with them, as well as Tarte. I would love to work with Tarte. I don't know, there's just so many brands. I feel like I'm kind of blanking thinking about them, but I would say for beauty wise, those would definitely be my favorite. And in terms of clothing, I mean, again, there's just so many amazing brands, amazing fashion brands out there that I would love to work with. I would also love to start working with like some travel companies in terms of hotels, or you know, Emirates or something like that. Just any sort of travel related content is definitely my favorite to film. So if we could go on a trip and work with a brand, like a traveling brand, that would just be a dream come true, honestly. So manifesting that somehow happen. And then right now for skincare, I would love to work with Lancome. I really love their, where is it? I really love this product that they have. It's their Advanced Genifique Youth Activating Concentrate. This product is amazing. I use it every day, so I definitely love to work with them. And then another beauty brand just off the top of my head, I would say Makeup by Mario. Love his products, and also Charlotte Tilbury, because I think I have almost all of her products as well. I'm sure there's tons of other brands like I said, but just right now off the top of my head, those are definitely, you know, the ones that I would love to work with. The next question I got is, what is your guilty pleasure? Probably not be looking at my phone as I'm doing this before I mess up my contour. But in terms of my guilty pleasure, don't really feel like I have one. Like, if you're talking about food, I would say chocolate 100%. Like, I need to have chocolate after every meal. But in terms of just like, I don't know, I feel like I can't really think of anything. I love to scroll on Pinterest for hours. I don't know if that counts. Oh, I guess I really do like to watch those like ASMR, like organizing things. I love anything to do with organizing. It just makes me want to get up, buy all of those containers and clean my entire house till there's not a single speck of dust and everything's where it needs to be. So I would definitely say I could sit there on TikTok and watch those for hours. Okay guys, I had to stop filming for a second because the lighting was just crazy, but I think it's a little better now. It's a little darker just because, like I said, the sun is setting, but hopefully it's not too bad. But my next question is, what are some goals you have for YouTube? So I feel like a lot of my goals lately have been more focused on creating good quality content. I feel like I used to just focus more on like quantity over quality, whereas now I've really just been more focused on trying my best to post quality content across all social media platforms. So, you know, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, just there's a lot, you know, to keep up with, and I've really just been trying my best to at least post a TikTok or reel or shorts every single day. I've also been trying to, like I said, get more into, you know, the fashion related content on Instagram. And then with YouTube, I feel like I really haven't made too much fashion content lately. I also feel like it's just because I'm just over winter. Like, I do not want to shoot any winter related content anymore. I'm so over it. I just want it to be spring so I can, you know, get some cute spring clothes. But yeah, that's why I haven't really been posting that as much. But anyway, just to sum it up, really, like I said, just to remain consistent with quality content, and also obviously to continue growing on these channels. I feel like when I first started, you know, posting on YouTube, I focused so much on the number versus, you know, anything else. And lately I've just been not doing that, because if I did, I'd probably go crazy, because, you know, you see these creators grow at such rapid, you know, ways, and these are of course people that started back in the day or have just gone really viral, like that girl Alex Earl. But she actually has been posting for years, and her content just recently kind of gotten picked up. So just hearing stories more similar to that is always motivating. My husband always tells me, you know, Mr. Beast, that apparently it took him years just to hit like 10,000. So I don't know. I just feel like I said, I've been focusing less on the number, more about like, do I enjoy making this? Do I enjoy editing this? Am I having a fun time? That kind of vibe. And I would say lately on YouTube, I've just been kind of more doing, like I said, vlogs. I'm gonna try and do more fashion content once it warms up a bit, but yeah, like I said, just keep rambling. Remaining consistent, posting quality content, and hopefully that'll turn into growth. Also, if you hear beeping in the background, I'm also baking a cake right now. During the little pause, because the lighting was crazy, I decided to use the lighting to my advantage and bake a cake because I really wanted good lighting for when I filmed that video. So definitely check that out on my TikTok reels as well. But on to the next question. What is your happy place? I feel like this is a really hard question because for me, my happy place would be traveling somewhere. I love traveling. I feel like it's kind of just, I don't know, like I know some people find gratification from buying expensive designer items, stuff like that. I really don't, although I like, of course, designer items. But to me, it's going on a trip and spending that quality time with either someone I love, such as Jay, or my family, my parents, a friend, you know, just experiencing new things, seeing new places, experiencing new cultures. Like, I just love all of that. When I think of, you know, like, I know some people think like, oh, I really want to be able to save up money so I can buy, you know, a car, or so I could buy my dream whatever. I save up my money so that I can travel to my dream destinations. Like, that's just always been my vibe. So I would definitely say, if I had to say my happy place, it would be that. But if I had to do something that was not traveling, I would choose definitely my apartment. I love living here. I feel like my mental health has never been better since living in this apartment. And our other apartment, I had anxiety every single day, every single moment, just from like the building itself, just everything. It was just a lot to deal with. I feel like I was just not a happy person at all. Whereas here, I can sit here like I am right now, looking outside my window, seeing the beautiful city skyline, you know, feeling the sun in my apartment, which in the other one was just not possible. Even when I lived with my parents, my room was in the basement, wasn't much sunlight. So just to be able to have that now is crazy to me. And I would definitely say my apartment would be considered my safe place. Also our rooftop, like I just love going up there. Not as much recently because it's freezing, but I used to love going up there just to chill with Jay, talk, you know, have a nice glass of wine. We used to have a lot of dinners up there. I would go up there to read by myself. Just very peaceful vibes. And I feel like that's what this apartment gives me, is just like peace. Although to some that may seem crazy since I'm in New York City, but I don't know, for some reason, the city views, being able to see the sunset from my window, feeling like I'm into my apartment is just very peaceful to me. Also in the summer, we used to always have little picnics by the water over here, and I would say that was definitely my happy place. Like, I would love to go there to read and just chill. So, I don't know, it's kind of like a roundabout answer, but all of the above, I guess I would say. I actually got the same question again, goals for your YouTube channel this year. Already answered that one, but yeah, just really, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to post things that I enjoy creating, I enjoy posting, and just, I don't know, going with like the flow, seasons of life. Last year, I feel like I was more into fashion related content because I felt really like confident and happy with the way that I looked. Recently, I've been dealing with a few health problems again. What else is new? So that has caused me to gain about 10-12 pounds, which is not a big deal, but to not be able to fit the clothes that you purchased just last year and were loving is kind of discouraging for me, at least in the fashion aspect. So definitely say my goal is to overcome that and keep posting fashion content because I do enjoy it, and not letting something like that kind of affect it for me. But yeah, pretty much the other goals, like I said before, remaining consistent, quality content, and hopefully that turns into growth. The next question I have is, how is married life? I would say it's great. I look crazy answering this with all the powder on my face. I would definitely say it's great. I feel like it's even better now that the weddings, you know, already happened. Not that we weren't aligned when it comes to wedding stuff. We were actually very much on the same page with pretty much everything. But with weddings comes having like, I don't want to say difficult conversations, but I don't know. Regardless, having a wedding always stirs up some sort of family drama, and having to get through that together and you know, be on the same page with that. I would say that was definitely, you know, a bit stressful when, you know, thinking of like who we're inviting, just like little details and expectations, just a lot with that aspect of it. But I feel like we did really well with that, worked through that together. And if anything, planning the wedding, I feel like made us even stronger and closer together, especially with the whole wedding planner situation. That was not fun. But yeah, I would say it's definitely great. I think we are, like I said, very much on the same page. We're very focused on our goals as individuals and as a couple, and how we can, you know, help each other with that. So like for instance, one of my recent goals is to really focus on my health. Not that I haven't been, but just more in a positive way. Like, okay, you gained a few pounds, let's, you know, do some workouts that may help that, and let's try and eat a little healthier. Although it may not really help my situation, since mine is more related to like my surgery last year, you know, it doesn't hurt to, you know, eat healthier, work out more to make myself feel better, like my mental health be better. It's definitely something I feel like Jay has been helpful and supporting me with. And then with him is really just more, you know, career oriented stuff and just being there for him with that. So I don't know, I'd say it's pretty great. As of right now, have no complaints, except for maybe when he, you know, leaves his socks and stuff on the floor. But aside from that, it's great. I think we're actually at the last question, which is, how are you guys liking the new place? Which I feel like I've already kind of answered just by how I was telling you how much I love living here. We absolutely love it here. The only thing that I will say that is not so fun is just how much more crime there is here. Like, I feel like the crime has definitely gotten worse in the past few years. And, you know, in Queens, we really used our car more, I would say. And if we did take the train, it would just be one train in, and then we would pretty much walk everywhere else. Here we've just been doing, like I said, a lot of walking, especially in the summer. But now that it's cold, we've been having to, you know, take the subway more, which normally wouldn't be an issue. We've grown up taking the subway our whole life. But because of the crime in the city, I will say that it's gotten to the point where like I don't really feel comfortable taking the subway by myself, you know, late at night or really ever. Like, I always told Jay like, hey, can you take me here or wherever? Or I'll just walk. So like for instance, my nail salon I go to is like a good 20-25 minute walk from here. I don't care, I will walk there versus taking the subway by myself, because like I said, it's just, I don't know, hopefully it gets better, but as of right now it's just not exactly what I want to be dealing with. So just been, like I said, walking everywhere. And then I guess lately we've been doing more like Ubers, Lyfts if we really need to. It's super expensive, so we really try not to, but I'd say definitely walking a lot more. But in terms of the positives, I mean, I'm sure you could tell I'm in love with this apartment. I post it, I think, every single day, multiple times a day on my Instagram. It just makes me so happy to live here, and it's always been a dream of mine and Jay's to live in a place like this. Unreal, and we're so grateful every day that we even have the opportunity and are able to afford living in a place like this, and we definitely don't take it for granted at all. I'm sure Jay also absolutely loves the fact that he can walk to work now and that everything is a lot closer. The dogs also really love living here. They love looking out the window, seeing all the cars, the people, the buildings, the lights. They love having a doorman. The doormen love them, and they love going to, you know, the Walgreens downstairs and getting pets, or the liquor store downstairs and getting treats. You know, I would say the city is definitely more of like a dog-friendly place versus when we were in Queens. The dogs really only went for walks, and then, you know, really the only time they would run around was if we went to my parents' house, or if we took them to Lawn City, which we would still have to, like the Lawn City Park, which we would still have to drive to. But here we can take them to the water on the West Side Highway. Like I said, they've been going into stores with us more, like stores that allow it, of course. And yeah, I just think they're overall happier. We have more space, and they're not over here being exterminators to centipedes like in our other building. Yeah, we're just all very happy here, and hopefully, I think we're gonna hopefully stay here for at least one more year. Hopefully they don't raise our rent something crazy. Fingers crossed they don't. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the questions I was asked. I'm just gonna quickly finish up my makeup, and then I'll show you guys at the end. Okay, this is my finished makeup. It is pretty dark in here, so hopefully you guys can see, but let me just take these little hair clips out. I still think I'm gonna put more volume in. I still have to change jewelry, all of that, but this is just the makeup. Give you guys more of a close-up on the makeup. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat. Get ready with me answering your questions. If you guys want me to do more videos like this, definitely comment it down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.